Hello, everyone. What I'm about to tell you is so messy, irreverent, and jaw-dropping that it might potentially bring down the internet once more. So, I hope you're paying attention, Remy. She's plunging, not simply trending. And that's why Claressa. Shields smiled as she stated on television that she intends to conceive with Papoose. A baby, indeed. With the same Papoose, who is still Remy's legal spouse. Married, not divorced, not separated. How did we get here, everyone? Isn't another triangle of celebrity love? This is motherhood masquerading as war. Claressa made no indication. She didn't make fun of it. Like she was announcing a championship bout. She sent it out loud and boldly. Rumor has it that Remy had an emotional breakdown and broke. Glass is smashed. Trust is shattered. And let's face it, it's not a lie when a woman loses her partner and finds out that the spotlight queen, who was once a side chick, is expecting a child. That's a critique of her whole life. Because this story is complex, filthy, and brimming with drama. Don't go anywhere. Let's begin. Claressa Shield remarked, "Wait, hold my mic," just when we believed the Remy, Papoose, Claressa love triangle had peaked. Because evidently, these days, taking a man isn't enough. You must now establish roots, leave a legacy, and launch a direct nuclear bomb into the ex-wife's heart by announcing the baby. For the sake of the lost souls in the back, let's turn back now. We're discussing Remy, the legendary rapper, Bronze. Royalty, the ride-or-die wife who supported Papoose during his heyday and his downfall. And yes, even behind the walls of today's world, they were the epitome of black love, complete with matching attire. People claimed that there was no hope left in the world if Remy and Papoose were unable to make it. They were objectives. Left interstage. Shields, Claressa Remy's worst nightmare. According to some reports, is the former Olympic gold medalist and unbeaten boxing champion. Claressa quickly evolved from being a shadowy supporting character to the major antagonist of their story, which began quietly with murmurs, whispers, and the odd dubious post. Claressa jumped in like the first round of a title fight when Remy and Papoose's marriage encountered a snag. She arrived with lashes, a lace front, and a strategy instead of gloves. The pivotal event was Claressa's now famous birthday celebration. Yes, the party where Papoose brazenly proposed to her like Remy didn't exist, shocking everyone. The internet almost blew up. People gasped. There were memes. Even articles concerning the demise of loyalty were included. Even though Remy remained silent, a source claimed that she was distraught. Rumor has it that she left the celebration early. Just a few days ago, she wore a black sweatshirt and wore an expression that said, "I wish asterisk pitch would." She had no words or cosmetics, as if she hadn't just destroyed someone's decade-long marriage. Claressa is poised, calm, and drinking sparkling water as she sits down for an interview. Then, as if placing an order for dessert, she says, "Yes, we're planning to start a family." Whoa, drop mech. Twice, the interviewer blinked. The internet froze when the cameraman coughed. A newborn, an entire child, and a Papoose. However, the marriage license still bears Rhee's name officially. This was not merely audacious, it was nuclear. Claressa kept her romance a secret. She declared a change in bloodline. She isn't merely pursuing Rhee's partner. She is stealing the future that Remy most likely envisioned. The headlines, the legacy, the family. Not to mention that this is the same Claressa once advised followers to keep to themselves and focus on the company that pays them. On the other hand, she is honking twice as she drives the automobile directly through Rhee's lane. This is where things get worse, though. Indeed, it's terrible. Remy had no idea this was going to happen. According to people close to the situation, by close, we mean nosy cousins with screenshot fingers. She was caught off guard by the family plans and the baby discussion. Before risking an appearance at a private gala, Remy reportedly isolated herself in her dressing room for hours because she was so horrified by the news, according to one source. Another claimed that after watching the video become viral, she broke her phone on Twitter. Speaking of Twitter, there was a social media breakdown. The hashtag #REIDA serves better was trending globally within an hour of the interview's release. Reminiscences of Remy and Papoose's betrothal, their visits to prison, and their years of devotion were being shared by fans. For their marriages, people were essentially composing digital eulogies. She gave it all to him. Some tweets weren't so nice, but one said, and he gave her this. Claressa was defended by others who referred to her as a queen who was aware of her desires. The message read, "Why are y'all?" She won. Remy stumbled. Another wrote, "Let's be real. If he were so in love, he wouldn't have left. Claressa's just doing what Remy couldn't. Congratulations," requested Papoose. Crickets. Total silence on the radio. Not even a reaction gif. Not a quote. Not a post. It's claimed that he is avoiding the controversy by staying out of it. Some claim that he is keeping quiet since he is aware of his mistakes. Not good. Furthermore, if the reports that this pregnancy plan has been in the works for some time are accurate, we may be witnessing one of the most well-planned public betrayals in the history of hip-hop in recent years. Let's talk about receipts now. As early as 3 months ago, Claressa was prepared to begin working with Papoose, according to a leaked chat thread between her and her boss. 3 months, that's correct, which also coincides with the time frame during which Remy and Papoose were purportedly secretly working on their marriage. Take a moment to process that. Remy was attempting to make things better. Papoose seemed to be caught between becoming a franchise starter and a family man, while Claressa was preparing to establish a family. Furthermore, the scandal continues because, according to yet another source, a former assistant who handled events for both Claressa and backstage tension has been building for months. Remy, when Papoose began to skip studio sessions and turn off his location when traveling, the assistant says Remy realized something was wrong. The last straw was a receipt for a personalized baby charm necklace that was discovered in the glove box by mistake. It was purportedly for Claressa, not for Remy or their daughter. Mishap? Or was someone attempting to evade detection? I know that the baby plan has been officially disclosed. Ree's silence is becoming more and more noticeable. No dodgy subtweets, no response interview, no official statement, just silence. However, if her expression outside that club last Friday is any indication, anything else, it's that Remy has finished being silent. Because this conflict is just getting started, even though Claressa may have won the round. And this narrative took a turn for the worst precisely when we believed it couldn't. Because although Claressa's interview announcing her pregnancy served as the catalyst, a full-fledged firestorm ensued. Social media investigators set to work within a day of Claressa's video going viral, and this is what they found. Assume that there are timestamp-equipped receipts on the streets. First, a screen capture of a private Claressa Instagram story that was never made public but was purportedly screen filmed by one of her close friends was released by an unnamed source. Buddies who became snakes. Claressa is heard off camera gambling in the video, and someone possibly Papoose's, "You better not let anyone know we're trying already." What is Claressa trying to do? Who is trying? We are all aware of what that implies. But wait, depending on who you're supporting, it either gets better or worse. Screenshots of a purported FaceTime conversation between Claressa and a posh Miami baby store were shared by a credible gossip website. When the store owner asks, "You planning early, huh?" she is shown looking at cribs, inquiring about gender-neutral aesthetics, and giggling. "I like to be ready before the internet starts talking," she responds. It's too late. Remy Ma's team remained silent in the meantime, but not for long, as her publicist abruptly shared an enigmatic Instagram story. 5 terrifying words, a black screen, white text, no tags, and no background. If you truly believed you had one, the internet went crazy. Lycée lyric, people began deciphering it. Was it dangerous? A foreshadowing of a diss tune? A warning? There were a lot of memes. The entire play was being reenacted by TikTokers as if it were Shakespeare. And fan accounts began creating entire timelines with the title, Papoose. The last straw was when Remy Ma's sister, yes, her real-life sister, went live on Instagram for 23 minutes. Delivering a pure, unfiltered, PR-free, smoke-filled stream in which she stated stuff like, Claressa was creeping for Montiels, even Charlemagne gave it a donkey of the day. My sister woke up to baby talk, even though she knew she had attempted to keep her marriage intact. Papoose ought to feel embarrassed about himself. This is humiliation, not just contempt. While your wife is still wearing the ring you gave her, you don't publicly start a family with your rebound, and possibly the live performance's most memorable moment. Remy isn't cracked. Ray's loading, boom, mic dropped. That line alone became merchandise, memes, ringtones, and even TikTok audio remixes. The reactions were loud, emotional, and divided. Team Remy flooded the internet with old photos, heartfelt captions, and even petitions calling for protection for Black women in toxic industries. Yes, it was traumatizing, but it was also effective. Tin Claressa responded by calling Remy outdated, bitter, and incapable of accepting that she was outplayed. He left after Claressa didn't steal him. According to one Twitter thread that even read, Papoose ain't property. Then a third group appeared. Team Papoose is trash, and they brought digital torches. They called Papoose a career freeloader, the biggest letdown in hip-hop, and the male equivalent of Kris Jenner. One tweet went viral with 120 likes, and Papoose wrote all those bars about loyalty only to fumble it for a stylist who worked with. Claressa last week is claiming that the baby plan announcement wasn't real, according to the stylist's anonymous tip to the Shade Clique. Claressa was never actually pregnant and isn't even actively trying yet. The stylist claimed that it was PR and leverage because she knew Remy was starting to talk to him again. And she had to stop that with something. Gender reveal. Tragic. Now, everywhere you look, the narrative keeps changing from betrayal to pity, from scandal to strategy. Motherhood. Well, this isn't just about love. It's about control, power, and getting ahead of a story, even if it hasn't happened yet. Returning to Remy, she was seen at a recent industry dinner with her face beat, immaculately dressed, and her hair styled like it was Grammy weekend. She didn't say anything, just a look that said, "You may think I'm down, but I'm not done." And guess who accompanied her? A tall, elegantly dressed Enigma people were already speculating about the man who had social media in a chokehold be sunrise. Is Remy making a comeback? Is she planning something? Is she finally going to share her side of the story? Because one thing is certain, the Remy who smiled through betrayal is no longer there. The question now isn't just what Claressa did, but what is Remy going to do next? And that's precisely where we'll pick up in part 3 due to the fact that this fallout is just getting started, but isn't just messy anymore, it's dangerous. Because now it's not just about broken hearts and poor decisions, but also about reputations, contracts, and lawsuits. Let's start with the legal angle because baby Remy is done being a silent victim. Several sources have confirmed that Remy has consulted her legal team, and not just for divorce proceedings. We're talking about emotional distress, defamation, slander, and even an alleged restraining order request. Why? Because it seems like Rhee's legal team is claiming that Claressa's recent media appearances were planned to cause a public outburst. A move that could affect Rhee's brand deals, endorsements, and professional image. If you think that sounds dramatic, you haven't seen the documents. Rhee's lawyer allegedly wrote a legal letter that was posted on blogs, claiming that Claressa made deliberate public statements intended to harm the lawful spouse's emotional health, That sentence alone sent Twitter into a tailspin. However, while Remy was meeting with attorneys, Claressa was signing brand deals. However, Carnival lost quickly in Hollywood because the day after that announcement, two of Claressa's longtime sponsors, a luxury fashion brand and a sports drink company, both went suspiciously quiet a few clicks later. And guess what? Both brands removed her name from their official press kits because, allegedly, corporate doesn't want to get involved in the kind of scandal that ends up on every shave blog in the nation. The three new brand deals include a wellness brand that offers prenatal vitamins, a baby clothing line that wants to work with a boxing mom campaign, and a reality TV development deal titled Fighter. Fionn, Future Mom, The Audacity, and Astronomical. In the midst of the public's strong sympathy for Remy, who, let's not forget, built her legacy from prison bars to Billboard charts with raw talent and ride-or-die loyalty. The hip-hop community is reportedly picking sides and becoming politicized. Fat Joe reportedly stopped communicating with Papoose completely, writing in a since-deleted tweet, "Some men don't deserve who rides for them." However, not everyone's team, Remy. In a surprising turn of events, Cardi B reportedly contacted Remy personally, providing encouragement and advising her to be strong because true victories don't need to be rushed. A few female rappers have spoken up and you all are defending Remy like she didn't do easy dirty last year. One Underground musician tweeted in support of Claressa, who is being unfairly maligned for wanting a future with someone she loves. Allow Claressa to be content. Who? Then like the cherry on top of a poisonous cake. A private email exchange purportedly between Rhee's manager and a producer at a major TV network about a tell-all series surfaced online. The title of the emails revealed the Remy story. The project would include sit-down interviews, exclusive footage, and even moments from the day she learned about the baby news. The same emails also mention a full emotional arc, perseverance as a means of redemption, and the possibility of a follow-up music project. And guess who might be executive producing it? You guessed it, Rhee's sister, the same one who went live last week. But what about Papoose? Well, he finally made the decision to talk.